Hey guys, how's it going? It's Robert Syslo here, Director of Production from Grant Cardone TV. And this week on Ask the Pro, we've got two exciting guests who are talking about an amazing opportunity within the insurance industry. I have Jacob and I have Larry from Symmetry Financial. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I love it. We're talking income streams. We're talking passive income. We're talking growing a business. But before we get into that, I just want to start with like a basic introduction of the two of you guys, starting with Jacob. You know, how did you get to where you are now? How did you get to Symmetry? Where did it all begin for you?
Sure. Well, majority of my life, I was in the restaurant industry. Everything from bussing tables, waiting tables. Met my wife, high school sweetheart in high school, and then decided to bartend my way through college. So I did. I got my finance degree. Problem was, I had that degree, but nobody wanted to pay me what I was making, bartending. I was making close to six figures bartending. So I was kind of trapped. I spent 12 years doing the same thing, just had my horse blinders on, doing what I had to do to get by. Then, grace of God, one day, met Larry Spoth, built a relationship with him over probably about 10 months. He kept kind of dripping on me. Watched his life change with this company. I'll let him tell his story, but I saw his life transform. He offered me the same thing. He said, you could do this. So jumped into Symmetry Financial Group 4 years ago, and man, has it ever changed my life.
Where are you at now for income, just so that they know? We're going to get into that, but this guy's crushing it right now. Yeah,
it's been a blessing, man. I mean, last year was able to, 36 years old, was able to retire my wife from Lockheed Martin Corporation. She had a great job there. We're making multiple six figures, which is nice, but the difference is it's one thing to go out there and do it when your income's tied to your feet, but we'll talk a little bit more about the different types of income you can make with Symmetry, and the income that I'm speaking of is on a passive basis where it's not tied to my feet. Mm-hmm. Sitting right here with you today doesn't mean I'm not making money.
I love it. I love it. So Larry, how did you get started? Jacob shared a really interesting thing there, but tell us where you got started with Symmetry and how you got involved.
I kind of evolved through the business world a little bit. Couple of failures out there, but that's good. It just makes you stronger, right?
Absolutely.
Started in a restaurant business. I found out, we got some partners. We had a heavy startup capital investment into this restaurant, and then we got a second restaurant going quite a few years back. Eventually they failed and I went bankrupt, busted.
How old were you?
Oh my gosh, that was probably 99. So that was probably going back into my late 40s.
Okay, got it.
I had some partners that had money. I didn't have any money, but again, at the end of the day, heavy startup capital, busted. Went from there to Marriott, ended up director of Renaissance hotels, restaurants in there, so director of restaurants. While I was doing that, I started doing mortgages on the side because I have 5 kids, a house, and all that. And although Marriott's a great company, you're only going to make so much, right? You're punching the clock, so to speak. Started doing mortgages on the side. I found out, hey, I can make more money writing mortgages than I can working at Marriott part-time. So I quit and did that. Quickly advanced through the mortgage industry up to the point where I owned my own company, small mortgage company in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
Then 2008 happened.
Oh,
boom. Everything
destroyed.
Crashed. Essentially, by the time 2010 rolled around, bankrupt again. Second time in my life.
Wow.
Second business venture. But if you're not a quitter, you draw strength from that.
Yeah.
So I actually answered a Craigslist ad. I was back in the restaurant business.
There's magic at Craigslist. That's how I got this job.
it's unbelievable, the story. So
yeah.
I answered this Craigslist ad because after the mortgage company failed and I was back in the restaurant business as a general manager working 70 hours a week,
yeah.
I started doing this on my 2 days off, running 2 appointments. Just
working with Symmetry.
Working with Symmetry, just trying to make $500 extra because I was broke, man. I mean, I was broke. I was borrowing. I was borrowing money from my mom to feed my kids.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
At that point, probably 50 years old. That's humble pie,
yeah,
right there.
Super.
But I started in that business. It's not what it is today as far as training and mentorship and all that. So eventually came through that business and built it up and built it up. Found Jacob, brought him in. He's a master of building passive income. I'll say I was very, very good at that immediate income and really became, I guess, an expert in the field with some of these products that we use and training people on them. But Now this year I'm chasing the 7-figure mark.
Wow.
So very, very powerful, very, very lucrative. It's just the industry you want to be in.
Right.
If you want to sell.
Right.
In financial services. I don't know, it's a $1 trillion industry, I would probably say.
Yeah.
So we just get a little
there's
piece
money
of that
out
trillion.
there. There's money out there.
Absolutely.
Who's got my money? So
That's
what
right.
is Symmetry Financial? Tell us about that. Introduce us very briefly to Symmetry.
Well, basically, we're a mortgage protection life insurance company. Owners call it personal development company that happens to sell insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk more about that a little
Sure.
bit later. But we're not an insurance company. What we do, we're a broker. So we work with the top 20 to 30 insurance companies in the country. We only work with A-rated insurance carriers because it's important. We want to make sure that we're putting our clients in the best possible products.
Yeah.
And what I like about being a part of a brokerage is the fact that we're not married to one particular company, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going in, or when I was in the field at least, I wasn't going into my client's home trying to push them into one particular company because that's all that I had access to.
Right.
Here, we can pick and choose what works best for that family.
Sure.
So it's a brokerage, and they built a way where you can actually build a business inside of Symmetry, and that's what we've done.
So you start off, so you can go to one of these top rated companies and find the best rates for an individual or a company.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay. So how do you build a business within a business?
Well, let's start on the first part of creating business volume, right?
Yeah.
A sale has
Sure.
to happen
Absolutely.
in any business. You got to create that dollar that's on the table.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can touch on how to actually build the business. But to create that business volume, what we did was, Symmetry has the marketing program. They do all this direct mail to houses, people that refinance or purchase a home. That's our target market.
Right.
So we take that lead that they generate for us, we pay for it, we chip in a little bit for that lead, and we go out to see those clients. But what we found is, to maximize our income streams, we want to go out to that house, not only with mortgage protection insurance.
And by you say streams, you're meaning multiple clients that you would actually be working with, correct?
Multiple clients,
Yes.
but at the same time, if you're going to that one house, the old school way is just to have that one product.
Right.
And you just find what they want to spend. But what we do is we go out to that house and say, look, you can get mortgage protection insurance. That's a solution to your problem. Or you can use this cool tool called an equity indexed universal life that has cash value. You can go to our website and learn how that works. But there's another tool on a table for that person that says, I don't really want to spend money on insurance, but I do like the idea of growing money for my retirement. And oh, by the way, it's the fastest and smartest way to pay off a mortgage in the country that nobody knows about.
Right.
So we show them that. And then, for example, let's say you're my prospect sitting there.
Absolutely.
And I find out, oh, well, Rob's got this old 401k from his old company. It's just out there blowing in the wind. Well, I can roll that over into an indexed annuity, protect you from market losses, get you a 10% match on your money, and get you indexed returns based on the S&P 500.
Mm-hmm.
So all those cool
An investment.
tools that we,
Yeah.
so all those cool tools, rather than have one product in the house when we're meeting with them, we'll bring 2 or 3 because we don't know what we're going to find.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates that business volume. That creates the dollars that are on the table.
The immediate
That's
money
the
that you
sale.
talked about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So really, you can walk into this business, I like to say, and everybody's different, of course, but you can walk into this business, and let's say in a 90-day period, you should be or could be tracking towards $300,000 a year personal income just from selling. But we like
Within 90 days.
Within 90 days. Now,
Amazing.
every part of the country is a
Yeah,
little
of
bit
course.
different and a little more
And
competitive.
I'm sure it has to do
and
with the amount of work that you put into
your
it as
work
well.
ethic. We have all the training, so all your tools are there. Free.
Right.
We don't charge.
Okay.
But that's selling. Jacob has become a master on building and owning a business. So you take this plus that, add it together, you've got a very, very significant income.
And those are the
very real.
Those are the two types of income that you're talking about: the immediate income and the passive
Exactly.
income. So you're going to talk to us about building the business to leverage the passive income.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we call it, and see, the sales part of it is great because we have the best products.
Right.
We have the products, but
And the training.
For that. But it really does you no good to have the best products if you don't have anyone to offer them to. And that's where Symmetry really has revolutionized this industry. because of our the mail houses. We have 3 throughout the country who mail out, mass mail to anyone who buys a home or refinances a home. Just the letter clearly states, hey, you may qualify for this protection. Out of 100 letters, we may get 1 or 2 back. That's who our agents are calling. They're not calling the 99% who didn't fill out the form.
Mm-hmm.
So if we know that a personal producer can go out and make this kind of income, why wouldn't we share that opportunity with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where building a business comes along.
Mm-hmm.
In the insurance industry, these insurance companies pay you for volume, right? For distribution. As a personal producer, every time you submit an application, you get paid for that. Well, these insurance companies will pay everybody who had a hand in getting that policy to them.
Amazing.
So although I'm not in the field writing policies anymore over the last couple years, my agents that I've shared this opportunity with and that they've shared it, because I have a hand in it, I receive what's called a spread or an override on that. So here we call that a passive income. So there's 2 types of income really that we talk about. Temporary,
The sale.
personal producer. That's tied to your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get sick, if you take a vacation,
It stops.
it stops.
And what you've done now is you've created yourself as the immediate income guy, but then you shared that with you recruited other people to work with you, basically.
Right.
Correct.
And gave them the same exact
opportunity. So they can make the 600 grand to 300 grand in the same amount of time. It doesn't change. There's no shortage
Actually,
of that.
they'll make it faster because when we started, we didn't have training.
Right.
We built it.
Got it.
We built online training. Like, for example, what is an equity index universal life?
No
and how
idea.
do you create tax-free income, right? But we have videos that teach you. You can sit on a weekend and learn that product inside out and backwards, how to run the software, how to fill out an application. It's all there.
Right.
So now somebody that's brand new to the industry that they've never heard of that word, they can go out and in one weekend learn it and go out and sell it and
Right.
really help out a family.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But then building that, Jacob is a great story, really. I'm not going to tell your whole story, but started out as a bartender, probably a year or 2 in the field just selling, right? Making some money.
That first 2 years was probably you got to rev the engine, get it moving, and
Right,
got to a
for him.
stable
And
point.
we didn't really see the full vision of building an organization, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
So here's this guy that was a bartender, smart guy, he had
Yeah.
his degree and all that.
Yeah.
But went out and sold, made a bunch of money.
Yep.
While he was selling, started building a business, recruiting other agents that wanted to build their own business or sell.
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy's sitting here passive. He doesn't sell anymore. I like to still sell. I like
It's
it.
fun. It's fun.
But he's built a passive income
Right.
that's approaching $500,000 a year and will
amazing.
eclipse that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Passive. Now he
Passive.
still works with his guys and talks to them. He's not on the beach.
How
every
many
day.
people do you have working under you?
In my entire organization right now, last month we had 105 writing
Okay.
agents, but that number continues to grow.
Of course.
That's the thing about
So those guys can add their own people, and
They
those
can
people
build their own businesses.
Very cool.
Exactly.
And every time that they add someone, that's also adding, to my overall income.
So you've got a business that you've constructed from Symmetry. What does it cost somebody to get involved in that? What is it? Because we all think about building a business and are like, oh my God, I need money to build a
Right.
business. I need 20 grand, 30 grand, 100 grand, whatever you're trying to do. For Symmetry, what does it cost somebody to start up?
I'll take that one because of my experience in the restaurant industry.
Sure.
Few $100,000 poured in. Somebody else's money. I was a partner, but still we were tied to it, right?
Right.
So a few $100,000 to start a restaurant. Here at Symmetry, you have to get licensed. You got to take a state exam, that kind of thing. Let's say all in, getting set up, maybe $200 plus or minus, right? $200 and you're in business.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to have someone to sell to. So let's say you're brand new, let's say, so you're not going to light the world on fire. Let's say you spend $300-400 in a month on leads, so you have someone to go sell to.
So you go out, you acquire your own leads.
Well, the Symmetry will sell them to you.
They'll sell them. Okay.
They're going to take the risk of the marketing.
Right.
If it fails, didn't cost me a penny. When they get the leads back, people responding saying, yes, I want to see somebody about mortgage protection insurance. I'll buy that lead at basically a half price, call that guy up, set an appointment, and go out and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those products.
And I think that's
Right.
an important point because what Symmetry has done, they subsidize that lead cost. They don't make money off the sale of leads. They make money off the sale of insurance.
Right.
Just like myself, right?
Right.
So this company was started by these three guys,
Mm-hmm.
you know, running insurance leads.
Yeah.
You know, and then they shared it and shared it and shared it. Same thing that I've done, you know, built a business, and we have that opportunity because of the great leads.
And the last time you guys were here, you were talking about like some of the costs for a lead. You invested like $1,200 and you could make in that month, you could do $40,000 or $50,000. Can you go into that just very briefly?
Go ahead.
Like the cost of a lead versus the income that you can make?
Yeah, and you can visit our website, and we go in full detail in the breakdown, you know, just to not be repetitive. But there's different tiers of leads.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was just mentioned.
Just really, we don't have to go, just very basic. Like,
Yeah,
what am I going to spend and what am I going to make?
Yeah. So if we're mailing out, you know, 100 letters, we're going to get 1 or 2 back. That's considered an A lead, right? That's a hot lead.
Yeah,
That just
yeah.
came in.
Right
Got
off
it.
the press.
Yeah.
Right. It comes in this week. You purchase it this week.
Got it.
For a starting agent, that's $27
Per lead.
per lead. When
Got
you
it.
buy one of those, that's exclusive to you for 5 weeks.
Got it.
No other agent in our company can call on that lead for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't sold it in 5 weeks, you're probably not working it properly. You're probably not going to sell it. So after 5 weeks, that price drops to $5 into our bonus lead category.
Mm-hmm.
And bonus leads range from anywhere from $5 all the way down to 50 cents. Same thing. If that $5 lead's not sold, after 5 weeks, it goes to 4, 3. It's important to note, though, if it's sold, it's taken out of the system, not to be resold again.
Got it.
So you're not
See-
buying junk leads.
Yeah, no, you're getting
They're
solid
quality. Yeah.
Solid
Some
leads.
of the cheaper they are, the older they are.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new, they're obviously more expensive.
Of course.
But here's a concept we like to kind of talk about sometimes, and that is you can buy your production.
Mm-hmm.
So once you know those are 3 favorite products, and there's some other products there too, but let's say you have those 3 under your belt and you're good at them.
Right.
You just buy your production.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I'll take 15 A leads if that's what you want to do and they're available, because I know 15 A leads week over week over week is probably going to generate me a $300,000 a year income, plus or minus. You know, so you can buy your production, so to speak. You don't know which one of those 15 are going to turn into a sale,
Of course.
but I'm going to sell 7, 8, 9 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make that money cash right there. And the insurance companies pay me, not Symmetry or not Jacob or not Larry. The money comes from $1 billion insurance company straight into my bank account.
Amazing.
That's powerful.
That's amazing. So startup cost is relatively low. You acquire your leads, you spend $27, you could generate a $300,000 a year income. How fast can you get started with something like this?
The startup time is short. And to be clear on the $27, we're not having brand new agents come in here and spend $27 on a lead.
Got it.
One, it's not fair to the client.
Of course.
They deserve someone who knows what they're doing on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
They have an urgent need that they filled out. 2, it's not fair to the agent. We want to give them time to get good at their craft. So we'll start them on the bonus leads. You know, and yes, you make a few more dials doing that. You gotta,
Yeah.
you know, weed through the nose to find the yeses. But
But
they're very
your
profitable.
mistakes are cheaper.
That's right.
Put it that way, right? If you're
Exactly.
no good, that's okay. Be
Yeah.
no good on a $5 lead or a
Exactly.
50-cent lead.
Got it.
Exactly.
Get good quick and then jump into the more expensive.
And get good quick. It goes right in line with startup time here.
Yeah.
Man, this business, it comes down so much to the individual,
Right.
right? I could put 2 people in the Symmetry system. One might write their first policy 3 weeks from now. One might write their first policy this week.
Mm-hmm.
Our training is designed, you could really be trained in 2 days, ready to hit the field with our basic products and be earning an income. That is once you're licensed, of course.
Of course.
Most people can get through that licensing course in 5 to 12 days. So let's just call it 15 days to get licensed if you're unlicensed. Another 2 days to, you know, go through our training, which a lot of people do when they're going through the licensing as well. But once you're licensed, a couple days, go through our training, you can get in the field.
It's perfect.
We
Start
tell
making
people,
money.
you know, the
2
quickest
days.
way for us to teach you is for you to move your feet. right? Because you can study all the theory in the world.
But you got to get out and play.
What
It's like,
might happen.
it's what Grant told me. I said, Grant, I want to learn how to sell. What do I have to do? He's like, pick up the phone and talk to people. I'm like, I don't know what to say. He's like, well, just pick up the phone and have a conversation. Learn on the feet.
Something will come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good or bad.
Good or
it'll
bad.
come out.
So with this, I'm going to go a little bit into, entrepreneurs and business people that want to really grow something that's different for them. How does Symmetry and the opportunity that you guys have change somebody's life? Like, what can it do for them?
Well, we can both touch on that, but I'll go back to a little bit of my story. I was in the restaurant business. Because the mortgage industry failed in the recession. I was in the restaurant business 70 hours a week, making about $55,000 a year, back to square one, again with 5 kids in a house. It wasn't cutting it. 2 days a week, I'd get off with enough time to one appointment. Within probably, I'm going to say 6 months, I taught myself these other products because there was no training back then. Within about 6 months, I was making more money than I was as a general manager of the restaurant, and could text my boss that I didn't really get along with on my flip phone that took about a half hour because there's 3 letters per number, right? I could text him, I quit, not showing up for Christmas. Because my income 2 days a week, now I was working hard because I was hungry, but 2 days a week surpassed that, made me free of the restaurant so I could go full-time in this, and then I lit the world on fire. So that little story just to show how a good business model where you can really make money, it changed my life. It changed my life.
And it's real.
Completely.
This is what it is. You're
I
sitting
paid
here.
off all my back taxes, the second mortgage, the third mortgage, resided my house, windows, doors, mirrors, car with cash. All of a sudden, boom, I hit it. And I think similar story to you, different circumstances, but the income potential is so powerful. We see across the board hundreds of agents and advisors out there. This business has changed their lives. Some of them are better than others as far as sales go. But it's changed lives. It's powerful.
And yes, and there's story upon story after of this. You take me for example, same thing. Over $50,000 in credit card debt to well over $50,000 in the bank. From bartending 5 nights a week, going to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning, seeing my wife 2 days a week. We did that for, I can't remember, it's 12 or 14 years of our relationship. To retire and your wife, spending every single day with her, doing the things that really what matters in life, and that's spending time with friends and family and those you care about. Having excess so you can donate, serving others with your time. That stuff's powerful. That's life-changing.
When you get all these different income streams coming in from sales, from residual, however you build your business, all those income streams, all of a sudden you just reach a point where, you got over the crest of the wave and now you're sailing smooth.
That's exactly
it's awesome.
Right. And it's not just me, and it's not just Larry. I have multiple agents on my team who are out of the field now, more coming, who have worked themselves, built themselves a business just like I have. So it's not a company that's just, okay, a couple at the top can achieve this.
Anybody can achieve it.
Our biggest income earner is not even part of this company
yet. you think of all the financial companies out there, which we don't want to name on this show.
No, of course.
But you think of all those gigantic financial companies that we know, household names. They have hundreds of thousands of agents and advisors out in the field. We're taking their business. We're giving people,
the everyday person,
the Main Street everyday person, the business entrepreneur, or somebody just, we joke you could start this business on a credit card. We don't want you to because we're very not debt oriented. We want you to be financially free, but you can take a credit card if you're hungry and build a 6-figure income. We like to say it's easy, but there's hard work.
Of course there is.
It's
hard work
simple,
and everything.
But there's hard work.
So right now, you're at a really interesting point, and they're advertising and promoting with us on our network. And where can people get in contact with you if they want to join your team?
Great question. The best thing to do, I think, is to go to sfgcareers.biz. sfgcareers.biz, and right there on the home page, you'll see a corporate overview video. That video will go into all the detail about what we're talking about today. How commissions work, how the agency works, how passive income works, the products, the mentoring, I don't know, add to it, but SFG
Training,
Careers,
all that stuff. It goes through our entire kind of
it
business
has everything
model.
there that you'll need to know.
It's perfect. It's perfect. So what's the future look? Oh, go ahead.
And just going back to your question about, you know, how is this life changing?
Yeah.
I think this is important and not to be overlooked. Symmetry Financial Group, you know, we were the fastest growing company by Inc. magazine, rated us fastest growing company last year. Entrepreneur magazine ranked us as having a top company culture this year. And that culture is, I believe, is what has made so many stories like Larry and I. Because when I came into this business, Brandon Ellison, Brian Pope, and Casey Watkins, the owners of Symmetry, Larry Spoth, and my other mentor, Marshall Whalen, Dick Sylvester, they didn't say, Jacob, we want you to go out there and make sales. You go out there and make sales. See, I think the problem is with a lot of companies, a lot of people who try to do what we do, and a lot of companies countrywide, they're so sales focused, you know, where Symmetry is truly people focused. So instead of telling me to go out there and make sales, they told me to go out there and pick up a book. Because they knew if they developed people that the sales would just come. And that is why my life has truly changed. Because 4 years ago, you know, was the first time I actually picked up a book to start working on myself. Outside of getting my finance degree, where I tried, you know, the hard as I could not to read.
Right.
But they cared about me. These guys cared about me enough to know that if I don't work on myself, all this little temporary success I could have, all this money that I can make in this industry, I would probably squander it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes us so different, is just we are sold out to personal development. Agents find out early and often coming into this business that you're going to probably start working on yourself, or you're not really going to fit in with our culture.
Exactly. They want everybody in a good condition, ready to do what they have to do. So it's like what Grant says. He's like, he won't be remembered for the money that he made. He's going to be remembered for all the people that he helped.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's perfect.
That's right.
It's absolutely perfect. So these guys are changing lives. These guys are having an opportunity, unlike anything else, to earn multiple six figures. You can go to sfgcareers.biz. That's sfgcareers.biz. The link will also be in the description below. And Jacob and Larry and Symmetry will get you on the path to your financial freedom. Where can people, what are you guys hoping to do in the next 2 to 3 years? Where are you guys looking to go?
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's the
really,
target?
You know, we could talk about personal incomes, but I don't think that really matters to people watching this video. I think what we really want to do is, you know, if Jacob's already got, let's say in his organization, over 100 people, we want to double, triple, quadruple that. Same thing for my organization, double, triple, quadruple, so that we know if we've helped 300-400 people build a successful income for themselves and their families, by default, we're all successful.
Absolutely.
And so those financial numbers, yeah, they're way up there in the sevens.
And I can tell you,
You know,
over the next couple of years, we're looking at, over the next 5 to 7 years, a $500 million company as a whole.
Amazing.
And $1 billion is behind that. There's so many people out there who need what we have. The only problem with Symmetry Financial Group is not enough people know about it.
that's right.
Because it is life-changing.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate Jacob and you, Larry, being here today. You can follow them and catch up with them at sfgcareers.biz, sfgcareers.biz. Every week, Grant or I bring somebody or someone or people that are invested in making a difference for the better, invested in sharing tips, opportunities, and strategies that can change your life every single week on Ask the Pro. Tune in next time. We'll see you soon.